Hello, Nadine Dunnigan here. Today I'm going to show you the different wedding albums that you can come across when you meet with your wedding photographer. There are many different wedding albums available in the market, ranging from very cheap or inexpensive albums to very, very expensive ones. The cheaper end of the market are the photo books, which you will have seen when people put their travel stories together, showing their photographs from the holiday. The pages are very, very thin and bendy, and sometimes they don't even open flat like this one, but open like this. The different packages can either include no album, or a smaller album, or slightly bigger album, or more photographs in the album, or a different style of the album. So what you want to look out for is the size of the album, the number of spreads or pages. So this is a spread which consists of 2 pages. So if the wedding album package or the wedding package says the wedding album comes with 20 spreads, then it actually comes with 40 pages because each spread consists of 2 pages. And every page can then have different number of photographs on the page. The first album I'm going to talk about is the self-assembly album. This one is 10 by 10 inches and it comes with 20 spreads, which makes it 40 pages, and this one probably has about 80 photographs. It is called self-assembly because most professional photography labs provide them to the photographer empty. The photographer can then design the individual pages and save them as images. So this would be one image with a white border, and then the photographer orders these and then assembles them in the album, so they are glued to the album pages like so. Self-assembly albums only come in a limited number of styles and colours and sizes because they are pre-prepared by the lab and they're basically on their shelf, and they can just send them empty to the photographer, or the photographer can choose that the album company provides the full completed album to them, so somebody in the lab will then finish the album with the photographs. The next album I'm going to talk about is the coffee table book. They come in all sorts of different sizes and formats, so this one is a square one. There's also a rectangular version here. This one is with a purple cover and a print of the names and the date on the front, but you can also have something like this cover, which is a nice damask style, and then there's a metal cover with an engraving at the front, or just a black leather which has got the names sort of etched on the front. This album is 12 by 12 inches, which is 30 by 30 centimeters. But there's also a rectangular version, which is 14 by 10 inches, which is 35 by 25 centimeters. And this one has got a lovely acrylic cover at the front, so that's an option as well. Inside the album, the images are printed on the actual pages, so there is no element of assembly that the photographer needs to do. The album is sent to the photographer in full and completed by the photography lab. The photographer has pretty much any choice that they want to put the images together, and the album software allows the photographer to design this to anything they want. It can have a white background, or like this album on a black background. I tend to put a tiny black border around the images to just make them pop off the background just a little bit more. You can have full page images like this one, and when it comes to the speeches I often have many more photographs on one page just to convey the story a bit better. This album has got 20 spreads, which is 40 pages, and it's about an inch, just over an inch thick. The coffee table books come in many different sizes. This one is a 12 by 12 inch version, but they go as big as 16 by 16 inches, which is quite big for a wedding album, and I have delivered albums with up to 250 pictures. The last album I'm going to talk about is the overlay album. Now, overlay albums are the most expensive to produce, and overlay is also called a matted album because the images are displayed behind a mat. It's a cardboard mat that has got cutouts, and the images are behind it. Now, many years ago, you would receive an album, or you would buy an album, and the images are slotted in behind the mat. But the way these are assembled are that the photographs are glued to the page and the mat is then put on top, providing this picture framing effect. You can also combine a full page image with a matted one on the other side. Now, they also have this lovely option to include a vellum sheet to start with, which contains your names or the date of your wedding. The album company that I have chosen for my clients is called Jurgensen. The Jurgensen album provides all sorts of different cover options, and as you can see, there are many different options and different materials available, and it's fantastic to design a wedding album that really matches your wedding and your style. So they are very heavy albums, and they are very substantial, and they look absolutely lovely, and when you give this somebody to look at, it'll be definitely leaving an impact, and it's just an amazing album, and just something lovely to store your wedding memories in.